Hey Spartans, Krypteia Chris Stuewe talking to you about the Vancouver HH12 candidate class 004. So specifically today we're going to be talking about the gear list. So starting off, of course, we're going to need a headlamp. So make sure that that headlamp is waterproof. We do have rain in the forecast, so I recommend a waterproof headlamp. Also, extra batteries. That way, you don't run out of light. If you run out of light, you could possibly end up in a DNF. From there, we're also going to be talking about Chem Lights. So, Chem Lights or glow lights are very important for these events. You wear them and they help us see you in the dark. So, biggest thing here is, I got this one at Canadian Tire, super cheap, but we need 4 of them, correct? We need 4 Chem Lights bare minimum. So, you're going to be wearing those on your pack or on your front so that we can see you. Speaking of seeing you, we're also going to need a High-Vis Vest. So, there are a lot of questions about the High-Vis Vest. This guy right here is very acceptable. We also have a High-Vis Belt on the list. The High-Vis Belt is very, very good, but sometimes not sufficient enough. If you're wearing that belt around your waist and you have your pack on, we cannot see it. So you need to make sure that you have a way to put that belt on so that we do see you and that you are visible. Again, an insufficient piece of equipment could end in a DNF, so I always recommend the vest regardless. But the belt does work should it be sufficient enough. Next, we're going to talk about packs. So this is an insufficient pack. This is a small hydro pack. You'll notice the straps are pretty flimsy. If you add 30 pounds to this, it's either A, going to cut into your shoulders, or B, going to break. So that is not really what I would recommend. I would recommend more of a ruck style pack. This is my personal ruck. I can strap that guy nice and tight down on the sides. I have a waistband at the bottom. The waistband strap is very important. It helps distribute more weight. The more weight distributed through the body, the less pressure your shoulders are going to take. And again, this is 30 pounds for men and 20 pounds for women we're talking. This isn't a little amount of weight. So men, make sure that you have that sufficient amount. Whether it be a ruck plate, whether it be rocks, whether it be sand, whatever you use, make sure it is sufficient. It must be 30 pounds, and women, it must be 20 pounds before your gear goes in. Again, it must be 30 for men and 20 for women before the gear goes in. We will be checking this. Worst case, we might start dumping a little bit more weight in and we won't actually measure at that point, so you might be carrying a little bit more than you're supposed to. So get it right the first time. Next thing we're going to look at is that hydration bladder. So there are plenty of bladders out there. The one that I'm going to show you is actually pretty basic. My good bladder is already on the trailer out west, but this is a standardized Walmart type bladder. I bought this for dirt cheap. I have it on insulated pack and insulated tube. I use this for one-time use. Haven't used it since. Cleaned it out. But again, you can find better quality than this online on Amazon. That's where I received mine. And again, those are a bit of a higher quality if you're looking for that long-term use. This guy was for one specific event, one event only as an extra pack. From there, we're going to start looking at our mandatory items for Vancouver itself. Number 1 being a compass. So I have 2 types of compasses here. One is the standardized Silva. So this is a great compass. It has that sight finder, which we definitely will be needing for our 12-hour. You have your compass on the inside as well. Now, I also have my personal compass here, the Silver Ranger. The difference between these two is that this guy is, I can preset the declination. Now the declination is something that is going to be very important in Vancouver. If you don't know what it is, well, take a Google. Check it out. Next thing we're going to be talking about is multi-tools. So again, multi-tools is generally on our standardized list, but we're definitely going to need a multi-tool for Vancouver. So I usually recommend the flip open type of multi-tool with the tools on the inside here that flip open and lock. Very beneficial. We also have the Swiss Army style multi-tool, like so, that those tools just slip open in this manner. They don't generally lock, so that is why I generally say use the plier style multi-tool. We also have a durable spoon. So biggest thing here, a metal durable spoon works best in my opinion. It can be any type of spoon as long as it doesn't break. If it doesn't break, I'm happy. Next thing we have is a piece of paper and a pen. Now, the piece of paper and a pen will be very important. You'll be writing things on it throughout the event, and you're gonna want to keep that paper dry. So figure it out, find a way to keep that piece of paper dry, and keep what you've written down on it for the entire event. Next, we're going to be looking at garbage bags. Plain and simple. Bring a garbage bag. Make sure it doesn't rip. Again, for that case, I recommend industrial or contractor strength garbage bags. They're a little bit thicker, a little bit more durable. Last, for our solo items, we have duct tape. Now make sure you have that duct tape. Any color, handy dandy duct tape works great. Forgot one. You'll also need a buff. So a buff or blindfold or bandana. This will be very important for your HH. So again, make sure you bring any style of buff, any style of bandana. Okay. Last, we have our team item. A bell with a handle. This bell will need to be durable. If it breaks, if it cracks, if it's unusable, that's it. Black glass. The HH will be finished at that point. Again, I want one bell with a handle, not multiple. Make sure that bell is durable. Make sure you gather together as a team. Figure out who's bringing it. We'll be set. So that's our gear list. Last but not least is our nutrition list. So only rules, no processed sugar, no caffeine. If you bring maple syrup, fruit, we'll always accept that. But if you bring jelly beans, that's a giant penalty, which we found out in every event so far, other than our last 12 hour. So let's make sure that we don't bring any jelly beans. Sound good? This will be in a clear plastic bag, labeled. Make sure that everything is fully visible and that all your nutrition is in that bag, ready to be checked. Other than that, I'll see you in Vancouver and let's have some fun.
Hey Spartans, Chris Stuewe coming from Mount Seymour. So we're adding 2 things to our gear list just for safety purposes. Number 1 being a whistle. So whether you have a whistle in hand or a whistle on your pack like so, make sure you have a whistle. I even have one on a bracelet that I wear, so make sure you have that whistle in hand in case you do get lost in the mountain. It is going to be very foggy, very rainy. It's going to be fun, but make sure you bring that whistle so that we're safe. Second thing we're going to bring is a full change of kit. So your clothing, additional shoes, especially socks. If you bring 3 pairs of socks, that might be a good idea as well. Make sure they are good wool socks. Believe me, you're going to be getting wet. You don't want to be hiking up and down this mountain with that 30-pound, 20-pound pack with crummy socks on. So again, we are adding a whistle and a full change of kit. Let's have some fun. See you in Seymour.